What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I am back today to give you guys a review of the Air Jordan 11 Retro in this Defining Moments pack or Gratitude colorway. So while this is not an exact one-to-one replica, this shoe unofficially pays homage to the original Defining Moments pack Air Jordan 11, which released back in 2006 alongside an Air Jordan 6. So this is the very first multi-shoe pack that released from Jordan Brand, and it was meant to celebrate Michael Jordan's first and second NBA championship three-peats in this special limited edition package. So I believe the original DMP pack released for a price of $295 for both shoes combined, whereas for this shoe alone, these retail for a price of $230 or $295 here in Canada. So the official colorway for this shoe is black, white, and metallic gold, and they're releasing later this week at most Jordan Brand retailers, including The Closet Inc. here in Canada. The Closet Inc. is my go-to shop for Air Jordan Retros and Nike releases, and they're an independently owned and operated sneaker boutique based right here in Southern Ontario in Canada. So for all my Canadian viewers out there, I've linked their website, their social media, all that good stuff down below. So check out their Instagram, for example. They're going to be listing out how these will be releasing. And if you do end up shopping there, be sure to tell them that I sent you. So while this pays homage to that original DMP Air Jordan 11, which in itself pays homage to the original Air Jordan 11 Concord, this 2023 edition has some tweaks, so it is a little bit different from the 06 version. But to me at least, I think these changes actually make this version the more superior version. So diving right into the details, of course this wouldn't be an Air Jordan 11 if it didn't have this patent leather mudguard. So this patent leather covers the entire toe box, and it loops around the entire bottom of the shoe, but unlike the OG DMPs, the height of the patent leather is much higher, so it covers a lot more of the upper of the sneaker. So this is one of those love it or hate it sort of changes, but one of the good things is that they actually utilize genuine patent leather instead of a synthetic material. Holding the laces in place, we have these lace straps or lace loops. And this is crafted using a white colored leather instead of the typical ballistic nylon or ballistic mesh that's typically found on an Air Jordan 11. So underneath this, the upper half of these Jordan 11s, this is crafted using a tumbled white colored leather. So the tumbling of this leather is definitely artificially made, but to an extent. So you can see certain areas of this leather have a bit more of that natural tumbled look to it, and I think these areas look a lot better. Moving downwards, covering the heel of the shoe, we have more of a smooth white leather, and then pressed onto the lateral side, we have this forward-facing Jumpman logo, which is done in this metallic gold finish. And then on the back of the heel, we have this black colored textile, and then glued into the center, we have the stylized 2-3 branding, also done in this gold color. As far as the laces go, so these only come with one lace option, and they're a rope style lace done in this tonal white colored finish. Underneath this, the tongue is also constructed out of leather, and it also has this tumbled finish to it. And cutting across the middle, we have that typical Air Jordan 11 tag with Jumpman Jordan branding along with a gold colored Jumpman. And then the very top of the tongue, as you can see, it has this very nice tumbled look to it. So the interior of the shoe is covered in that same black colored liner that we saw on the heel, and the padding within the shoe is pretty minimal. We have the similar padding on the back of the tongue as well, but then stitched on the back of the tongue, we have the tag, but the text of the tag is a little bit different. So because the nickname of the shoe is Gratitude 11s, the text here reads, "Quality basketball product created in gratitude by the greatest player ever." And then on the sides of the tag, it has the words, "Thank you." In terms of the insoles, so these come with a polyurethane lined insole. It's covered in this black colored finish on top, and we have that stylized 2-3 branding in gold stamped onto the heel. So the upper of these Jordan 11s, it sits atop this full-length Phylon foam midsole, and encased within this midsole, we have a full-length Nike airsole unit for cushioning. And then finally, turning this pair over to the bottom, so this is your typical Jordan 11 outsole, and in this case, it's constructed primarily out of the semi-translucent, creamy-colored rubber outsole. Just like any other Air Jordan 11s, we have these rubber pods both underneath the heel as well as on the forefoot, and it features this herringbone style traction pattern. And then underneath the rubber, sandwiched between the midsole, we have a carbon fiber shank plate as well, which also has a bit of a glittery gold finish to it. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this shoe. And for those wondering about sizing, to me these fit me true to size, so whatever your actual measured foot size is, I'd go with that same size for this pair. Unless you have a really wide foot, then you'd probably be better off going up a half size. So my foot measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, meaning when I step on a branded device at a shoe store, I'm a size 10 length in between a D and an E width, and wearing these in a size 10, they fit me great. So across the board for recent Air Jordan 11s, I'm a size 10, so whatever size you normally wear for recent Jordan 11s, go with that exact same size. Moving on to the comfort, so Jordan 11s straight out of the box aren't the most comfortable sneaker. Because of the patent leather, and just because of the nature of the upper of the shoe, it feels pretty restrictive. So it's one of those models that you really have to wear in, break in over time, and they feel more comfortable the more you wear them. So the same goes with the underfoot feeling. Initially out of the box, you don't really feel too much of that air cushioning, but in my experience with some of my older Jordan 11s, the more you wear them in, the more you can feel that cushioning underfoot. And over time, they actually end up being kind of decent from a comfort standpoint. But if I'm gonna be on my feet for hours within a day, or if I'm gonna be walking long distances, this is not a shoe that I'd recommend wearing. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship on this shoe, so first off, material quality, I'd say that it was okay. Even though they utilize genuine leathers, you can still kind of see that there's some level of that artificial tumbling that's pressed onto the upper. So while it's still an upgrade over the traditional mesh, personally, I like the leather because it just makes it easier to maintain, and it probably ends up keeping its shade of white a bit longer over the traditional nylon or mesh, which tends to discolor over time. But anyways, like I mentioned earlier, they also utilize genuine leather on the patent leather, which is a nice change. So the materials, I have to say, were okay. And from a build and craftsmanship standpoint, for the most part, it was pretty well done. The stitch job was pretty good. The height of the patent leather seemed to be pretty consistent. There were just some minor things like the toe box on my left foot, it was a little bit more crooked compared to the right. Just little things that I like to nitpick on. But if you're someone that's not too deep into the weeds when you're inspecting your shoes, hopefully your pair ends up being okay. But knowing Jordan Brand, my fingers are crossed for you. So with all that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet, I'll lace them up, and I'll show you guys how these look. To me, this is purely a nostalgia purchase. 2006, when the original DMP pack released, that was pretty much right when I started collecting sneakers. I did end up securing 2 DMP packs, which unfortunately I did have to end up letting go. So seeing Jordan Brand release the DMP 6s not too long ago, and then now the DMP 11s, it's a welcome sight to see them again. And it's great for those people that weren't into sneakers back in 2006. It gives them the opportunity to own and appreciate this shoe once again. And like I said before, I like the changes on this shoe. I like the higher patent leather. I like the leather on the upper as well. And I just think overall, it just looks better from a shape perspective than the originals. But honestly, Jordan 11s, they really aren't a sneaker that I wear much anymore. I have all those OG colorways in my collection, but I can't even think when was the last time I actually wore a Jordan 11. It's just not that comfortable for me, and honestly the style is a little bit outdated now, but I'm sure Air Jordan 11 purists, those of you guys who are hardcore dedicated fans of the silhouette, you must love that Jordan 11s are so easily accessible now. Whereas back in the day, the Jordan 11 silhouette, that was pretty much the king. So for those of you guys who preach and live by the mantra of buy what you like and rock what you like, this has got to be a great feeling for you guys. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about this Gratitude or DMP Air Jordan 11? When these drop later this week, are these going to be a cop or a drop for you? And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, follow me on Twitter or X at sean.go spelled out, and visit my website at seango.ca. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.